But like you said, the story, when I used to come pick you up and you lived at the very, very end of the enemy's neighborhood,
No.
and I'd have to drive with my head down to pick you up because I was stubborn and wanted to drive.
Yeah.
Being stupid.
Like your dumbass could have been in the back and had Chad driving.
Laying down in the back of the K9 Blazer, no one would have known.
There's like fucking 3 stop signs. 4 stop signs.
And a stop
and the red light.
Being stupid. Being young and stupid. You see what I'm saying? Because that was me. That was me coming to pick him up when I could have been in the back of a K9 Blazer, tinted out. No one would have known the wiser. But this is back in the 90s when people were hanging out. People were outside. So we had to stop at stop signs. There was people hanging out, chilling, with them tools ready to tighten motherfuckers up.
People, shit. When Erica was living down there with me, my son's mom, she used to walk up to the Eddie's Liquor at least once a day and use the phones because she'd call back up here, home, whatever. And one night we were, it was when we went downtown to the motel, when I got that motel room downtown on PCH and MLK. Like 3 or 4 people got smoked at those phones that night because the two neighborhoods right there were beeping, and like people had been getting shot that night right there
at that payphone.
Yeah, at the payphones where Erica used to go, and it was right around the time she used to go.
3 dudes and a girl.
And I remember telling her, I'm like, now you see why. Like,
I'm not going to speak on it, but I know exactly. Yeah, I know exactly that whole situation.
So I just tell her, like, now you see why. Like, you can't just be walking around here. It ain't that somebody may do something to you. You can be walking by while somebody's doing something to someone else.
Because there was a broad they shot up too.
Straight bullets. They ain't got no name on them. So she didn't understand that. She didn't. You know what I mean? Like, she'll be the first one to tell you. Like, it was a crazy ass different world down there.
So okay. So flip note.
She didn't understand that when we walked places that, like, why do you walk this way? It's so not direct. And I'm like, because I don't want to walk that way. There are people over there that would try to get us. You know what I mean? And not because of me, just because they'll get you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there are safe routes. You know what I mean? That you can work safer, that you can walk. But she didn't understand it, and I'm like, you don't have to understand it. Just follow my lead.
So,
you know what I mean?
So Kaylee's mom, being from Poland Pines, Placerville, up here, we go down to Long Beach. The first time she ever goes back down there with us to take Kaylee down there. We go to Kmart off, what is that?
Market and South.
The market is that Kmart is right there. Is that Carson?
The one that used to be on the north side.
The north.
That was South Street and like right before Market, right there.
Market. I know it's off Market.
Market. I want to say it was South because.
Okay. No. Sure? South was like I thought South ran the same as Market. Cherry.
No. It might have been Cherry. You're right. No. You're right. I think it was Cherry. Cherry. I think it was Cherry. You're right. No. I'm sure.
So
yeah. Because there's the Kmart and the Burger King right there.
Yeah, and the pizza place. The pizza place.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we go down there for the first time with Kaylee when she's a baby, and we go to Kmart. So it's me, Sherry, Juan's, rest in peace, Alvin, and Kaylee. We go to Kmart. Well, now, she's the minority now. So we go to Kmart, there's blacks, Mexicans, Samoans, Hawaiians, Asian, just a whole cornucopia of people, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, North Long Beach is
well, yeah,
everybody.
But she's used to being, like I said, in Placerville, Paula Pines, up here. So I remember we get back to my mom's house in the projects, and we get back to my mom's and we're putting stuff away, and I'll never forget, she was like, this is different, friendly. I'm like, why? What's wrong? She said, I've never been somewhere where I've been the minority. I said, yeah, huh? Because, and now she understands. I told her, I said, now do you understand how I feel when I'm in Placerville and Paula Pines and I'm in Reading and Anderson and all those areas, and I'm moving back then when I was like the only minority in a lot of places. But I still could move and make friends. It was never.
Well, again, it's just a different ratio than she's used to. I mean, there are plenty of white people.
Oh, for
You
sure.
know what I mean? But there's just plenty of everybody else. And, I mean, if there's one thing North Long Beach is, it is a melting pot of people. You know what I mean? White, black, Mexican, Cambodian. There's a big Samoan population. You know what I mean? There's all kinds. Filipinos. You know what I mean? I guess they fall into the Asian too. But I mean, shit. You got all kind of different Asians. You got Cambodians. You got Chinese. You got, you know what I mean? Filipinos. You got, you know, all
Shouts out to my homie Alan, Filipino Alan.
I mean, like, it's a melting pot. It was a melting pot. Like, there was no class I was in that was, you know what I mean, all anything. It was, you know, always mixed up. But it wasn't. It was definitely not predominantly white anywhere like it was when I came here. When I first came up here, and I get to the group home, 90% of the group home, you know, are brown skinned people, black, Mexican, Asian,
Right.
whatever. I don't think, man, did we have an Asian in the group home? I don't think we did. Not up here. It was mostly blacks and Mexicans. There was a few scattered white dudes. But we get to school, and it's like the few scattered black dudes or Mexican dudes are all from group homes from out of town.
Yeah.
And then there's just a few. You can count on, like when I went to Foothill, when it was still already, I count on one hand the black people at that high school that were actually from here. That, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then there was a few scattered that were from group homes, but that was it. And you're talking about, you know, I think probably 1,800 students. One fucking hand. You know what I mean? I remember when me and G went, and it was our first day. We were signing up for Foothill. It was like orientation day, and the football coach saw us. He saw him because he was black and he was in shape, and you know what I mean? And like, you boys look like you play football, blah blah blah. You know, so we went out for the football team, whatever. But we didn't last because we didn't. As much as I love football and I wish I had played, like, all I cared about that point was Punani. That was it. That's all you know what I mean? Like, me and him both, all we cared about were the girls. That was that. So, but it was such a trip because, like, I never seen, like, everybody gravitated toward the new black dude. Anytime there was. I never seen.
When I moved up there.
Well, but I told you that.
Yeah.
I said, Bob, all you gotta be is black. You already got that.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's different now. I mean, it's not quite the same. There's a lot more blacks and Mexicans up here.
Because when I first moved
now
up here,
it's different. But it's been almost 30 years.
Shoot, when I moved up here,
well, it's been 30
and we
years
would go out. When we started going out, because I moved up here when I was 20, and I wasn't even. I still remember, when I was 20, and when I first turned 21, and we would go out, there wasn't that many blacks. And then here's the funny thing, because I remember being 21, and this is the funniest thing, is I remember we were down in Long Beach. We went to Long Beach right after my 21st birthday.
Yeah, and I went to the Ice Dog game.
And I talked you into going to the Long Beach Ice Dog game. Mm-hmm. And I remember at the game, and you were like, friendly, we'll get us some vodkas and orange juice. I was like, what? You're like, you're 21? Yeah, screw, you're 21 now? And you were like, stop being scary. You're 21. And I go and get two and come back and we drink them. And then you're like, go get another one. And I go back, and I think we ended up having
we had a few.
But we spaced them out.
Yeah, we weren't like.
No, that's what I'm saying. Because I want to say we had one or two in the first period.
We didn't. I mean, we drank back then. We didn't drink.
No, but I'm saying I know we had two in the first period, and I think we had one in the third period because I remember we were leaving the Long Beach Coliseum.
No, the convention
center. Long Beach Convention Center, and we were walking down the steps smoking that blunt. We smoked the blunt as we walked down to the. We walked down to the bus stop.
Caught the 61 back to
Atlantic. So here's an educational story.
Might have been 62.
Educational story. So Q's like, is the orange bus running? Because at that time I lived off Orange. My mom's house in the projects was off Orange. It was grounded by Orange, Atlantic, Delamo, and the market. So my mom lived off Orange. So as we're walking, Q's like, friendly man, I hope you can catch the orange bus because I'm not trying to walk through the bricks I'm gonna try to walk to the Carmelita's projects, man, at 11:30, 12
it
at
was
night.
like midnight too. Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, we're cool though. You're with me. Hey, friendly. I'm not trying to walk. I know I'm.
I knew enough to know that the back was different than the front.
Exactly, and you were like, what if we walk?
I knew enough about him to know that the back was different than the fucking front.
Yeah, you were like, what if we walk into some people who don't know you? I was like, we're all right, man. You're like, whatever. Sure enough, we just missed the last orange bus by 10 minutes. So now we're sitting there, we're at the bus stop, we're smoking the blunt.
I was willing to walk all the way around.
Yeah, he was. But I didn't want to walk down. You got to understand something.
No, that's a long walk around. But
if you walk down Delamo, it's just a brick wall all the way down on both sides. So if an enemigo pulls up on you.
See, you're thinking about that. I was thinking about walking down to Market. Coming across
and
where,
come up around
where you're just coming up right in front of your house anyway.
I mean, I guess that's true. I wasn't thinking like that.
I'm not a dumbass. I wasn't thinking about walking down to Lamo.
I know, my bad.
But again, it worked out.
Yeah.
It worked out.
It worked out.
But we were at a spot that, if it hadn't worked out, we could have tried to run, but where to?
Where were we going to go?
Back out to Atlantic?
Yeah.
We'd have got mopped in the fucking parking lot.
By where Carl was it?
Where all that little mini mall is.
Jack in the Box.
Yeah. So I'm like, no. It's like, fuck.
So we're smoking the blunt at the bus stop. It's me, Q, some girl, and some dude. And we're just all smoking a blunt. They walk up. They want to hit it. We let them hit it. We hop on the bus. We're all just chatting. They get off. We get off the bus. So Q's like, it's a bad idea. It's a bad idea, friendly. I'm like, man, we're cool, man. We're cool. I grew up in here. It's a bad idea, friendly. This is a bad idea. So now the back of the Carmelita's projects has a tennis court. As we're coming, the tennis court runs west to east with a fence around it. When the Serena and Venus Williams sisters popped off in Compton, the projects in Long Beach said, well, maybe we got one of them in here. Let's put a tennis court here. A lot of fights went down in that cage circle. So we're coming up on the tennis court, and you got to understand, it's midnight. As we're walking, we could just see a group of people.
A fucking group.
Like 25, 30 people. No lie. And we're like, I look, and that's him right there shaking his head. I turn around and look at him. We lock eyes. He's just shaking his head. Now, we get to the point to where they notice us noticing them.
Yep.
So now we're far enough away to where we don't see them. We can't see who they are. They can't see who we are. But we notice each other's presence. We can't turn around and run. I look at Q. Q's looking at me, shaking his head. I'm just like, fuck, whatever. Let's just go. So we're walking. We start walking into the crowd of people, all dudes, and they start doing the spreading like, letting us walk into the middle of the circle. And I'm looking desperately for a set of eyes and a face I recognize. Because let me tell you something, I'm not gonna lie. I was scared. I was nervous. It was 12:30 at night in the back of the project.
They were a bunch of young kids.
And they were youngsters, 15 to 19, youngsters, the rambunctious ones. So as we're walking, we finally get to the edge of the tennis court. And I'm not gonna say no names. One of the homies, rest in peace, was holding court. As we break through the line and lock eyes, I lock eyes with him, I can breathe again like Tony Braxton. And I'm like, oh, what's up, man? What's up, man? You down? You at your mom's house? Then Q clears the fence. He sees Q, and he's like, oh, what's up? You down here too? He gets down, comes, runs up, hugs him. What's up, man? Y'all down here? Y'all at Friendly Mom's house? All right, man, we taking care of business, man. I'm going to come down there. We left.
I've never been so relieved in my motherfucking life.
Never been relieved.
Well, I've been more relieved, but I mean, it was a relief.
Like, I just remember.
It was nice.
I remember when
it was nice not to get diced. I'm just saying.
I just remember when we got past everybody, we were leaving the crowd, and he looks at me, he's like, man, thank God for him. He was like, Bob, I was scared. I was like, So was I.
Ain't nothing wrong being scared.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong being scared because
but I ain't no bitch though.
Yeah.
We walked through it.
Hey, it's like this though. At the end of the day, exactly. At the end of the day, we still walk through the crowd, knowing that the outcome could have been the worst outcome. But at the end of the day, think of it like this:
it's like walking into a yard with dogs,
a bunch of dogs off the leash.
If you turn around and start running, they're coming for you. There's no talk. You know what I mean? And at that point, he wouldn't have seen who they were jumping on until after we were done.
Until they were done, then he would have been mad. But it's too late.
You get what I'm saying, though? Yeah. So we had no choice.
Yeah. So at that point, it's too late. Like you said, we probably got a couple hot ones in us too.
The problem? I don't know. I'm glad I didn't find out.
Yes.
I'm glad I didn't find out.
That crew. Yes, it'd have been bad. And like you said, he wouldn't have been able to know nothing until it was over because it'd have been a rat pack situation. And where he was at, he wouldn't have seen.
Oh yeah,
what was going down.
There was so many. There were so many.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, it's not just a few dudes, man. This is like,
and it was like
Jesus, like the absolute worst thing you could possibly imagine to walk up on.
Joey, tell me if I'm lying. Was it not like a horror movie? There was just enough light to show the group, but you couldn't see who it was, but you could see how big the group was. And then they noticed us as soon as we hit a lighted area where they couldn't see us, but they could see two figures moving their way, and now they're on us because you could see their body language and how they all started turning our way. So how do you run from that? You got to walk into the tide, man. And look at how we were rewarded. Just come to find out, the person who was holding court turned out to be who he was, and because I'm sure there was a few people that was disrespectful. We walking through that, but we couldn't walk around it.
Oh, we could have walked around it,
but it wouldn't have been a good situation.
No, I meant like we could have walked around the whole fucking thing. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know what you mean. We could have.
That's all I kept thinking. Like the whole time, I'm just like, we could have so walked around this shit. Like I'm just sitting here like, I'm about to get fucking beat to a pulp because your ass is like, I'm from here. Don't worry about it.
Both of us though, I'm gonna get an ass whooping too. Because I wasn't gonna be able to jump on you and not jump on me.
Does that make me feel much better about being beat?
I'm not. But I'm saying I wasn't saying.
Oh, you know what I'm saying.